Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Wilson's Staff Model Blade. And if anyone can look at this, I think everyone will agree. Anyone who likes blades, this is a thing of beauty. The lines on this thing are ridiculous, it's chrome. Anyone knows me, I love chrome and I love this thing. It's possibly one of the nicest blades I have ever seen. Now it has got some tech. Not much tech, but it has got some tech. First of all, we'll talk about the precision milled 8620 body, milled face, 8620 body. 8620 carbon steel is one of the softest carbon steels that manufacturers can use to make golf clubs. So it will sound or feel kind of interchangeable, very soft, very nice. It has got that fluid feel hosel that basically takes mass from the hosel and moves it out towards, shall we say, the toe section. That precise toe weighting that this golf club has got, you can see by the channeling out the back, is moving mass towards the toe. Now, blades generically have always had their center of mass, their sweet spot, slightly heel biased. So going to something like this where it moves the sweet spot, the center of mass, much more in the middle, allows you to be a little bit one way, a little bit the other, toe or heel side, and get away with it, rather than having your sweet spot slightly in the heel, and if you move out towards too much of the toe, you're always losing quite a lot. It's a traditionally lofted 34-degree head. It's just looks lovely. Top lines on it are ridiculously small and lovely looking. Sole thicknesses, again, I've seen some game improvement irons where the top line is nearly as thick as this sole. And when it comes to blade lengths, it's just lovely and it's chrome. It's one of those ones that you should really stick up in a display case rather than ever introduce this to any kind of scratching whatsoever. Right, let's go get us on a hole. Let's go see how it feels. I've also going to be doing the forgiveness testing that I always do. Remember, obviously these are supposed to be blades, but the more testing I do with blades, the more I see that actually blades are more forgiving than people think and give them credit for. And then I'll do some gap testing as well for a bit of fun. I've got the 5, 7 and a 9, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test on the gapping to make sure, obviously this being an elite players golf club, that there is consistency between the lofts to make sure there's the correct distance gaps between each of the irons. Right, let's go get on a hole, let's go get it into a green, and let's go see how the Wilson Staff Model Blade gets on. Simulator is now on. We are at Potters Park Golf Course, hole 7. It's normally a par 4. However, I have moved the tee up to 170 yards for a bit of fun. We are 14 feet down, which is the equivalent of around about 5 yards or so. And so we'll go a little bit further than we are expecting. This is a 34-degree lofted head. Right, let's go give this one a hit. Oh, top lines are lovely. Sole thicknesses, blade lengths, just, yeah. Down by the golf ball. And yes, it keeps on ticking boxes with the fact we've got hardly any offset, small blade length, hardly any top line, lovely. Decent hit, maybe a fraction high on the face, we are talking a fraction. Oh, green, come on. That was good. Well, it still is good to be fair. Par for 0, face is 0.2, fraction high on the face. I felt that by a few millimeters. 168 carry would have been about 163 or so. 36 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, just doing really well, as it should do. It's just lovely. The feel of this is just, I cannot, there you go. It's lovely. Now, it will tell you, if you're gonna be missing the middle, it will explain that you need to make a better job of it, and also that it's going to be either heel, toe, low, or whatever. It will tell you where. Where game improvement irons, sometimes they are a little bit lax in the feel department, and you can't get much feedback from it. It just, you can hit it from all around the middle and it still feels like middle. Where this one, it will tell you, but it's, oh, yeah. Well done, Wilson. Made another good one. Give another hit. That's me chickening out. That's like properly shut face. That's going to be interesting. Blocked myself out by a tree. Oh, guess the culprit on that one wasn't the strike, wasn't the path. It might have something to do with the fact that my face was 1.4 degrees closed. 35 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, and actually is 12.6 yards offline. It's not crazy bad. Average PGA Tour stats for hitting the green is 24 feet. Average PGA Tour stats when they miss the green, I think, is about 40 feet. So I'm closer. but I am behind a tree. But then again, this green is ridiculous. It's so small and there's trees everywhere. So it's a bit of fun anyway. Right, yeah, it just feels nice, really does. That's slightly heely, that wasn't the middle, but yeah, it just feels lovely. Go give it another hit. Let's try not to get behind a tree. Slightly high on the face, maybe 1 or 2 mil, but you can feel it. I didn't like the strike. 1 mil. Oh, I'd much rather hit 3, 4, even 5 mil low as a normal, because you can get away with hitting low. You can never really get away with hitting high. Hitting high means you're going to be hitting the ground first, and that means chunk. Now 1 millimeter, you'll get away with that, don't get me wrong. 35 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle. It's just doing fine. It has missed the green at 9.2 yards. I mean, this green is very small, but the feel of it is still lovely. It is. It's me being uber critical of my strike, but I always am. What can you say? That's slightly heely, but it's performing really quite well. Oh, Mr. Green again. Oh, that's fringe. There you go, that's heely, 10 mil heel, 4 mil low. Anyone who says that blades are not forgiving, they are. 33 yards in the air, 49 degrees descent angle, 171 yards carry, take away a little bit, because obviously we're hitting downhill, will be about 166, 165 on quad there, which is obviously flat. It's just working really, really well. Right, let's go hit it again. Let's give it another go. I could hit this all day long. That's left. I'm chickening out from the right. Obviously, I'm gonna go behind the tree again. That's 2 for 2 behind that blooming tree. Path across, face is 0, slightly heely, little bit of twist. Now, on Wilson's website, they do say about the fact that they're moving mass around and stuff like this to stop the left miss. I'll be honest, there's only a certain amount you can do with that. There's always like a little bit of a pinch of salt you've got to take with the marketing when it comes to these golf clubs. I am still the biggest denominator of what happens to that golf ball. And if it's going to go left, that's my fault, no one else's. 34 yards in the end, 49 degrees descent angle. We're still working really, really well. It's 174 yards on there, 168 yards on there. So it's working really quite well. Right, one last one. Should we go for it? Let's see if we can go straight for the pin. Oh dear, this might go to the right hand side, and there's no green to work with on the right hand side. I'm going at it. I don't want to go. Now stop, now stop, now stop. Take that. Path from the inside, face was actually fractionally open, and 12 mil heel, 4 mil low. I have got the heels today. 37 yards in the air and 51 degrees descent angle, 164, which is the number which I normally hit average carry for a 7-iron of 34 degrees. 91.7 miles an hour. I am fully warmed up now, but it doesn't really seem to make that much difference that it was 12 millimeters heel. It's done very well. Right, let's go give this a hit all around the face, not just either middle or slightly heely. Let's actually have a go at hitting out the toe and low, all those weird and wonderful spots. And let's go see how well this one gets on. Don't forget, I'll also be doing a gapping. So as soon as I've done that, I'll do a gap test and see how consistent these Wilson Staff model blades actually are. Now with all the hitting done for the Wilson Staff blade, let's go see how well it works off the middle, yes, but also how well it works off of off-center hits. Because we all don't hit the middle, and even me, I'm having my heel days today. But let's go see how it works off the toe, low, all those other areas, because we all miss and we all have a pattern. At least then we can understand how one golf club works, or potentially would work for you, with your own pattern of striking. And then we've also got the gap test as well, which I've tested the 579 to see what kind of gappings we've got through the lofts. Right, let's go have a look at the averages for the Wilson blade. 114.6 miles an hour ball speed, launching at 21 degrees, which is very, very healthy for a bladed 34 degree 7-iron, spinning at 5.7, so a fraction under, a couple of hundred RPM under what I would normally expect to, but I mean, a couple of hundred RPM is well within a day-to-day variance anyway. Going 35 yards in the air and descending at 48.9 degrees, carrying 160. If you look at the clubhead speed, 86.7 miles an hour, 1.32 efficiency, 4 degrees down, and club path slightly across and face slightly open, but his baby lie is 0.2. And loft is 28.3 degrees. Now remember, this is a 34 degree lofted 7-iron, but there is a certain difference between static loft that the club is built with and the dynamic loft of what everyone else delivers. Now there's always going to be a certain amount of D loft, and 28.3 degrees is the dynamic loft in this case, and 0 mil high, or 0 mil heel, 1 mil high, sorry, is the strike for all of them. And you've got my stand deviation on all of it as well. Again, stand deviation is effectively a measure of my variance. But if we're just measuring one golf club, doesn't really matter. The main thing is if you're comparing two golf clubs, then you need to make sure you're measuring apples for apples. If not, it's not like for like testing. So there is ball and club compare. That's the graphical representation of literally what we have just been talking about. It's going nice and high, descending nice and steep, as you would do, even though this is tested at a slightly reduced swing speed, 87 miles an hour. But again, we all swing at different speeds. This is going to be more of the elite side. So yes, it will have more of a slightly faster swing speed player attached to the selling idea of this golf club. In reality, anyone in the 80s or even high 70s could potentially play these golf clubs. Just make sure you get them lofted correctly, so your loft gaps or distance gaps between irons isn't too small, because remember, they are traditionally lofted irons. Right, let's go have a look at what happens when you crank it straight out of the screws. And we've got a 1.33 efficiency here, 0 mil low, 0 mil toe, bang on the middle. Face is basically 0.2 to a path, 0.9 across, and 29 degrees loft. It's 1.33. So 36 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle, it's absolutely fine. It will be. 1.33 is really the maximum you're going to get from this golf club. You could get 1.34, but you'd have to do exactly what I did there and de-loft it a little bit more, which kind of cheating-ish. Slight heel, normal heel. Normal for me today anyway, at least. 11 mil heel at 1 mil low, 1.29 efficiency. We've dropped 0.04 from perfect, but again, very, very small margins considering this is a blade. And 0.04 is not really that much whatsoever. It's still carrying 156 yards at a slightly reduced swing speed. It's losing around about 3 to 4 yards of peak from that distance, or that speed, sorry. 32 yards in the air and 48 degrees descent angle is basically stopping on any green still. If you go low heel, 5 mil low, 10 mil heel, just move down the face a little bit. We have dropped efficiency to 1.28. Again, this is normal. The lower you go and the more heel you go, or the further away you go from middle, you're going to get a drop of efficiency, but it's going 30 yards in the air and 46 degrees descent angle. Even 85 miles an hour, it's doing very, very well. I mean, it's 1.28 at 152 yards. You can't complain. It is doing pretty decently. Let's go low on the face now. 13 mil low, 1 mil toe. If you're someone who hits it thin all the time and you want to know if a blade will work for you, actually, yes, it can. 1.30 efficiency is mighty impressive from a 13 mil low. Again, on a blade, you've got the meat right behind the golf club, but then generically, when you're looking at a blade, the center of gravity compared to a low CG game improvement iron is higher up on a blade. So that's doing really, really quite well. I am helping it a little bit, let's be honest. My loft is slightly higher delivered and my attack angle isn't quite so down. So that's why it's going 37 yards in the air and 51 degrees descent angle. It's launching really, really well. It's spinning really, really well. It's gearing a little bit as well, obviously from the low strike, but it's doing really well. But you do have to be honest, I do have to be honest, I am helping it a little bit with my delivery when it comes to its descent angle and peak height anyway. Slightly low toe, so 7 mil toe, 12 mil low. More of a normal delivery now, 1.28, very, very good. That's only 0.05 from perfect, and that's 19 millimeters off the middle gross. Low as well. Low's very, very penal, generally speaking, but 35 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle, and I'm not helping it. 29 degrees at 3.2 degrees down, that's fairly normal delivery. It's just doing really, really well. 12 mil toe, 0 mil low, a normal toe shot. Nothing special, just a normal toe shot, 1.29. Again, just good. 34 yards in the air, 49 degrees descent angle, launching really well, spinning really well. It's a remarkably forgiving blade, considering it is a blade. You don't have to be hitting button middle to get good results from this thing. And last one we've got here before we go into the gapping side of things, 21 mil toe. So this is just an example of, okay, if you're going to be hitting golf clubs here, you might want to be thinking about something else other than a blade. We are dropped down to 1.22 efficiency. It is 24 millimeters off of middle gross, which is basically an inch on a golf club, which is not very big. It's done actually quite well. It's 31 yards in the air and 48 degrees of scent angle. So it's going to stop. It's just a case of, yeah, we are losing a bit of distance now. We are about, I'd say, give or take at this speed, 88, we're probably 3/4 of a club drop. But that's really good from a 24 millimeters gross off the middle strike. It's launching really well, 21 degrees, spinning really well, 6,400. It's doing a really good job. It's just, yeah, we are losing a little bit of efficiency, but I'm not surprised from an inch off the middle. Right. Gap test time. Let's go see how consistent these are. Remember, these are traditionally lofted elite players irons, fully forged, fully bladed, so they hopefully are consistent when it comes to their distance control with lofts. Now, I had the 9, 7 and the 5, as you can see on here, and it's going 136 yards carry, 163 yards carry, 191. That's for the 9, 7 and the 5, and you're talking, give or take for me, I have about 13 yard gaps between my golf clubs. 136 to 163 is around about 27, and then 163 to 191 is around about 28. So there is 1 yard. That could literally be half a yard and half a yard. It's that close. So within reason, you can see by the dispersion rings, you can see by the tracks on the left-hand side for the flights. Yes, my 5 iron is going a fraction shorter in height. You can see the 7 iron is peaking just a fraction highest on that one. 36 yards, 37 yards, and 35 yards. We are not talking a lot. It is minuscule, but it is there. There's 36 yards for the 9 iron, 37 yards for the 7 iron, and 35. I mean, the 5 iron is going 191 yards, but it's still descending at 46 degrees on average. And so, yes, that is the reason why I finish at 5 iron, because that's 46 degrees, that's coming into a green, that will stop, no problem, absolutely happy with that. But if I now go to a 4 iron, I'm now not getting the descent angle that I want, the control that I want, and so I then go to a hybrid. Hybrid hits it naturally higher, and I gain my control back. For a bit of fun, I've now displayed all of the shots that I've put on there. You can see the blurring of it. You can see each individual weird and wonderful shot that I hit, which makes up the averages. You can see that I hit one weird shot with my 9 iron, but again, as long as you hit enough shots, it won't blur the averages. And you can see all the different traces of all the different shots that I hit. So, conclusion when it comes to the Staff model blade from Wilson, it is just an amazingly gorgeous looking golf club. Chrome with some more chrome. It looks lovely. Quad doesn't like it, getting some confusing readings sometimes because of the shininess of the face, but it just looks lovely. There is a question mark on how it's going to reflect in the sun. Yes, let's be open, it will be. I don't mind it because I like my chrome. With one, I have to then put up with another. Feel 8620 carbon steel just feels lovely, and you will not be disappointed if you're wanting or searching for a soft feeling, dull, quiet thud that you're going to get from a lovely blade. Performance is doing every single thing that you would expect from a blade. It is not super springy, but it's not going to be, and it's just as consistent as you are. You're not going to get any extra help from this, so effectively what we're seeing is whatever you put in, you're going to get out. If you don't hit it right, then it will tell you. But you're not going to get any flyers, you're not going to get any weird and wonderful things from super springy faces. It's just a consistent blade. Forgiveness, let's be honest, all the readings on there, it's done remarkably well. Is it as forgiving as a game improvement iron? Absolutely not. And if you are going to be moving around the face as much as what I was showing on there, the low strikes, the massively low strikes, the massively toe strikes, then yes, I'd be going for more of a game improvement, at least a player's distance side of things with more tungsten, etc., and more extreme weighting to give yourself a bit more help when you play golf. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Go on YouTube, likes it, and so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free and it's great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. Next to that one is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.